All right, guys, so I realized I was not recording myself, and I am going to just kind of go through the steps that I have to solve this problem, and we're just going to kind of walk through it so you'll see some of the work before I actually do it, and I'll just kind of be quiet while you guys can kind of look through it and work through it as well. So it says the area of a rectangle is 56 and 96 hundredths meters square. If the length is 6 meters, what is the perimeter? And on here, I'm going to erase that so you guys can't see what the answer is quite yet, is that when I'm doing my area, I have my area, I know what one of my lengths is. I don't know what my width is. So remember that area is length times width. All right, so if I put my area that I know my length, I don't know what this W is. I need to get W by itself, so I'm going to divide 16 divided by 16, it gives me 1. So then that means that I need to divide this 56 and 96 hundredths divided by 16. So I'm going to show you guys that problem here in just a second, but before I show it to you guys, I know that I'm dividing it by 16, so I rounded 16 to 15, and I went ahead and counted by 15s up here. All right, so then what I have done is I did my problem here, and I'm going to kind of hide that so you can't see it. So I did 56 and 96 hundredths. I divided it by 16, and doing all of my work, I checked that 16 times 3 was 48. So it goes in 3 times. I subtracted 48. I got 8, brought my 9 down, brought that decimal up. I knew that 16 went into 89 5 times. I did my work right up here. So then I subtracted 80, I got 9, I brought my 6 down, and I had 96. So I knew that it was going to go in more than 5, so I did 16 times 6, got 96. So then I've got 96 with my remainder of 0. So then this is what my width is going to be. So then perimeter, guys, remember, is length plus width plus length plus width. So I went ahead and I added up my 16 plus my 16, and then my 3 and 56 hundredths and my 3 and 56 hundredths. The reason why I added those zeros here is because remember, when you're adding or subtracting decimals, you just line the decimal up. So I didn't want to just line those numbers, it's line those decimals. And sometimes you have to add those decimals if it is a whole number. So when I added it all up, my perimeter was 39 and 12 tenths. So that is the perimeter of that rectangle. If you need to pause it, go ahead and pause it right now so you can finish up the problem. Number 4, a city block is 3 times as long as it is wide. If the distance around the block is 48 hundredths of a kilometer, what is the area in square meters? So we kind of are going to be working just a little backwards. So here is my block, okay? I know that so it says a city block is 3 times as long as it is wide. So here is my W, and then I know that this is going to be 3W. So that means that whatever I get for W, I'm going to multiply it by 3, and that's going to give me my answer. If I know that going all the way around my block, which is basically my perimeter, it is 48 hundredths kilometers. Okay, but here's the thing, is it wanted to know what it is in meters. So because I have this 48 hundredths kilometers, first what I want to do is I actually want to make it into a whole number. And so when I do this, remember guys, to make kilometers into meters. So here is your conversion chart if you need to. 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters. So that means I'm going to multiply my kilometers, I'm going to multiply it by 1,000. So if I multiply 48 hundredths and I multiply it by 1,000, I am going to get 480 meters. Okay, so then what I can do is I can say this is going to be 3W, this is going to be 1W. Okay, so because that is the perimeter, what I can do is I can do 480 equals, and basically I want to add up each of these W's. So I'm going to have 3W plus W plus 3W plus W. So right now, guys, what I can do is I can say, well, I've got 3W plus 1W plus 3W plus 1W. So 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7, plus 1 is 8. So I'm going to have 8W. And remember, guys, to get W by itself, I'm going to divide this by 8. and I'm going to divide this by 8. So then I know that my width equals 6. So this is going to equal 6. This is going to equal 6. But if I take this 3W, that means this equals 18 and this equals 18. Okay, so then what I'm going to do now is it says it wants to know what is the area of the block in square meters. So I'm going to take this 18 times 6, oh wait, hold on, it's not 6, it's 6D, guys. I am sorry, I made a mistake. Let me go back and look at this because I was incorrect with this, because W should equal 48 divided by 8 is 6, then you've got 1. So that's 60. So then it's 60 times 3 is going to give me that, which is going to equal 180. So I've got 180 and 180. Sorry, guys, that was my mistake with that. If W equals 60, I was getting a little ahead of myself. So then what I can do to find my area is I'm going to multiply these numbers. So I'm going to do 180 times 60. Okay, so I can go through and do 0 times 0, 0 times 0, 0 times 0. Then I'm going to have 0 because it's 60. 0 times 6 is 60. Or sorry, 0 times 6 is 0. 8 times 6 is 48. Regroup my 4. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 4 is 10. And I add it up. The area of the block is 10,800 square meters. Okay. If I would have done this and gone through, I would have had that answer. It would have only been 108, but because I left off that 0, that was my mistake with that.